Ctv3 News. A man from Curacao is charged for 3 counts of rape after his 12-year-old daughter accuses him of sexually abusing her. Curacao cops launch investigation after a man is found dead on a farm in Santa Elena. Prime Minister John Briceño speaks on court ruling against BSCFA. He clarifies it's not about money and emphasizes protection for Belizean businesses. And Belize faces growing threat from rapidly spreading New World screwworm in wildlife and livestock. These are some of the stories we have for you tonight in our newscast for Friday, August 8, 2025.
World shifts to regional supply chains, Belize is poised to lead. This is where blue innovation meets green ambition, and orange creativity thrives. Join us for the Belize Investment Summit 2025, September 3rd to 5th at the Sunset Caribe in San Pedro. From agribusiness to aquaculture, From renewable energy to digital services, from tourism to trade, this is the future of regional integration, and it starts here. Whether you're returning home, expanding regionally, or entering new markets, Belize welcomes you. Why Belize? Why now? Belize Investment Summit 2025, Bridging Markets, Building Resilience, September 3rd to 5th at Sunset Caribe, San Pedro. Visit investmentsummit.bz to register and be part of shaping the investment frontier.
José Tú presenta Los Cumbia Kings.
Mi dulce niña, tú me fascinas.
Los Cumbia Kings en concierto.
Sabes a chocolate.
Este 30 de agosto en el Estadio del Pueblo, Orange World Belice. Los Cumbia Kings en vivo.
No tengo dinero ni nada que dar.
No te pierdas el concierto del año que te hará bailar como nunca. General 150, VIP 200 y Platino $350. Boletos a la venta en la aplicación QuiPass, disponible en Android y iPhone. También con Mechas, gracias al patrocinio de
BTV, Mechas,
La aplicación Express Plus,
Cuellos,
Instituto Nacional de Cultura e Historia,
Lock and Loaded, Mark Production, Quick Pass, Lighthouse.
Good evening. With your news also, simulcast on Face FM 106.7. I am Joanna Rodriguez. Police have apprehended a 33-year-old man from Corozal Town and formally charged him with child rape after his 12-year-old daughter visited the police station and accused him of engaging in sexual activity with her. The investigation was initiated on Sunday, February 25, 2024, after a woman from the Corozal district visited the police station with her 12-year-old daughter. She reported that between 2021 and 2022, her father had engaged in sexual activity with her on 3 separate occasions. Following the complaint, a medical examination confirmed that the young girl had been sexually assaulted. In connection with these findings, authorities took the man into custody and officially charged him with 3 counts of rape. The case continues to develop as authorities pursue further inquiries. Authorities in Corozal initiated an investigation on Thursday, August 8 around 11:30 p.m. following a report of a suspicious incident at a farm located between miles 90 and 91 on the Philip Golson Highway in the Santa Elena area. Officers arrived at the scene to find the lifeless body of a male individual who exhibited what appeared to be a scratch on his chest. The deceased was later identified as 66-year-old Dimas Amaya, a Belizean farmer residing in the Corozal district. According to preliminary reports, Amaya left his residence at approximately 7 a.m. to work on the farm. It was not until around 10:30 a.m. that the farm owner discovered him unresponsive and lying on the ground. Further investigations are ongoing to determine the circumstances surrounding Amaya's death. Authorities are currently examining the scene and collecting evidence to establish whether foul play was involved. The recent High Court ruling ordering the Belize Sugarcane Farmers Association, BCFA, to pay over $500,000 in damages to Belize Sugar Industries Limited, BSI, following a deliberate blockade that disrupted cane delivery in December 2021, has become a focal point of public discussion since its announcement 2 weeks ago. The decision raised significant concerns regarding its potential financial impact on Belizean taxpayers, particularly given the government's extension of indemnity protection to the BSCFA in this matter. With a substantial sum at stake, public apprehension has understandably intensified. Speaking for the first time of the matter following the hearing, however, Prime Minister John Briceño today clarified that the court case was never about money. He emphasized that BSI has assured government that the awarded damages will not be collected. Instead, the company sought a legal precedent to protect businesses from unlawful disruptions.
Well, I think that was something that was expected from the ruling. But I think it's important to clarify, and I think some people in the media try to make a big deal out of nothing. When you're in my position and there's a crisis, you have to make decisions. You can't wait to call a cabinet meeting or go to a house meeting. We had an issue, the roads was blocked, we need to open BSI. I spoke to the people from BSI, and then I said, what if we were to give them this indemnity, because BSFA was already worried because they already heard that BSI was going to sue them. So I told them, listen, end the strike, move the trucks, we're going to give you an indemnity. BSI had already assured me that they have no interest in suing BSCFA to get monies. So afterwards, when everything was calm, everything calmed down, and they decided, as a management, as a strategy, to go to court so that they could get a ruling, so that there can be a precedent set. It was never about the money. So they got the ruling. BSI has assured us. He assured our Deputy Minister of State. I've not met with them formally, but they have assured us that they have no interest in collecting money. They wanted a ruling. So now in the future, should any other association or for any company, if they go and do these illegal strikes, now they know that they could go to court. Now, obviously, and I've made it very clear to BSCFA after that if they do any kind of illegal actions, they cannot expect the government to be covering them.
So no taxpayer monies will be spent during this ruling?
As far as I know, no. They will not. As far as I know, they've been assuring us that they have no interest in collecting that money. All they wanted was a ruling so that there can be a precedent set in the courts of Belize.
Agriculture Minister Honorable Hassan Mai today also spoke on the recent High Court ruling, which he says comes at a time when the industry needs to be more united than ever.
We help each other more when we leave these things behind. The industry right now is not in a position to be making these demands. We need to work together to try to have a 2026 crop, which right now it is very, very shaky. We are spraying right now, we are treating the farms for the farmers, the cane fields for the farmers, but even so what we are doing is we're not dropping the bucket. So with the $500,000 that's already maxed out, we are doing the treatments, the farmers are waiting. The farmers should have put $100, but even that they have problem in meeting. So we have to work with the farmers first and foremost, or farmers come first. And so if we can find a magic wand out there to fix the problem, we wonderful. But I'm being real practical here. This is going to be very difficult. So
The Central Bank of Belize officially launched its new 2025 banknote series on August 4th, featuring images of the father of the nation, George Cato Price, and national hero Philip Golson. The new notes also include updated designs that highlight Belize's rich cultural heritage and enhance security elements aimed at protecting against counterfeiting, while preserving the integrity of the national currency. But despite the new look and the fact that exchange rate remains unchanged at 2 Belize dollars to 1 US, ensuring financial stability, the reaction of Belizeans towards the new bills vary. While some are praising GOB for the bold move, others aren't. Today, Prime Minister John Brisenia spoke about those various impressions circulating on social media, highlighting that it was time for the country to showcase its own identity on its bill.
I think generally people like the Senate. You are going to have a few people say, oh my God, what's going to happen? But I genuinely believe that Belizeans like the banknotes. I think it's time for us to start to highlight our own heroes. And George Price, Philip Golson, and others, they are the ones that created this country that we now call Belize. And we need to highlight them. And yes, we were once a British colony, but now we're an independent nation. And it is time for us to move on.
Have you heard anything about Chatamal businesses not accepting this new banknote?
Well, I don't think Chatamal businesses generally accept Belize banknotes. The exchange, no, I've not heard of no such thing.
The new banknotes have begun circulating at all domestic banks. A few days ago, we reported that Belize had confirmed the first cases of New World screwworm in the country's wildlife. The fast-spreading pest, as reported, was recently detected in 2 howler monkeys in the Cayo district, who were found with severe injuries linked to screwworm infestation. The newest development, according to Minister of Agriculture Honorable Jose Mai, is deeply concerning, particularly because screwworm is known for spreading rapidly and inflicting heavy losses on both wildlife and livestock populations. With more and more cases emerging in different parts of the country at this time, Minister Mai says the situation is expected to get much more worse before it begins to improve.
Look, it's difficult to control screwworms in wildlife. It's difficult to control it in our domestic animals. It has become, I think, the cases have become more common. We are finding more cases, in Joak, in Cayo. It is spreading, and it was expected it would spread. We have done a lot using our resources to try to contain it, but we are reaching a point where it will be uncontrollable. So all we need to do is educate the farmer to treat the wounds, treat wounds, educate farmers. So we're doing that. In the meantime, the U.S. is putting up a plant in Mexico, which won't be complete until next year, for another 30 million flies. But there's also a plan, I understand, that they seek to include Belize, Mexico, Belize, and Guatemala. But that is yet still in the pipeline. So it will get a lot worse before it gets better, that I can tell you.
Despite the warning, the minister stressed that Belize's cattle export industry remains strong. He credited stakeholders in the livestock sector for acting quickly to implement measures aimed at minimizing the spread, including increased monitoring, treatment protocols, and coordinated reporting systems.
In the meantime, our cattle exports are solid. We continue to maintain a good relationship with Mexico. Our animals being exported are very well inspected. They are free of screwworms. We ensure that that is the case because we have to keep this market open. So if we do anything necessary to try to contain the cases of screwworm. And so that's where we are right now.
Lastly, I just wanted to ask, I know
residents are being advised to do your part to help stop the spread of this infestation by checking pets and livestock daily for any wounds, no matter how small. Immediately treat any injuries with proper wound care. Seek veterinary assistance if you notice signs of infection, swelling, or unusual behavior, and report suspicious cases to Baja or the Ministry of Agriculture. Coming up next, Belize's shrimp industry achieves major milestone as Taiwan grants import approval. Minister of Agriculture speaks on recent achievements.
José Tun presenta Los Cumbia Kings.
Mi dulce niña,
Los Cumbia Kings en concierto.
Sabes a chocolate.
Este 30 de agosto en el Estadio del Pueblo, Orange World Belice. Los Cumbia Kings en vivo.
No tengo dinero ni nada que dar.
No te pierdas el concierto del año que te hará bailar como nunca. General 150, VIP 200 y Platino $350. Boletos a la venta en la aplicación Quipass, disponible en Android y iPhone. También con Mechas, gracias al patrocinio de
BTV, Mechas,
La aplicación Express Plus.
Cuellos,
Instituto Nacional de Cultura e Historia.
Lock and Loaded, Mark Production, Quick Pass, Lighthouse.
As we have reported, Belize's shrimp industry has scored a major breakthrough as Taiwan has officially approved shrimp imports from Belize. The green light was delivered in late July during trade talks in Taiwan under the Belize-Taiwan Economic Cooperation Agreement. The approval follows over 2 years of technical cooperation, including a 2024 inspection by Taiwan's Food and Drug Administration. 12 Belizean aquaculture facilities have now been cleared to ship to Taiwan, a high-value market worth over $349 million annually in shrimp imports. Minister of Agriculture, Honorable Jose Mai, in speaking on the recent accomplishment, called it a major milestone for the shrimp industry in Belize, saying the deal opens the door for more investment, jobs, and growth in rural communities.
Baja, we have this is the trade agreement with Taiwan. So that was signed, but the food safety part of it we had to comply. And so Baja embarked on a very, very intensive work to ensure that the shrimp farms are certified and that they can meet the requirements set by Taiwan. So we took a lot of time, took a lot of effort, resources, and so therefore we certified the shrimp farms, and so now Taiwan has accepted our hard work and accepted our certification program, and so therefore that market is now sealed and ready to export. That is the high-end market. The shrimp growers were waiting for this opportunity because that's a premium price we're getting. And so I have to thank Baha and the technical staff for doing a wonderful job. And of course, I have to thank the Republic of China, Taiwan, for being our friends. They have helped us tremendously.
Yesterday, the government of Belize officially announced that Lenny Isagiri Magan is no longer serving as the director of the FIU, with her tenure ending on July 31st, 2025. The change in leadership took effect on August 4, 2025, and it saw Marilyn Gardner Usher at the helms of the FIU. Gardner Usher brings a comprehensive background in financial intelligence, anti-money laundering, and regulatory compliance. Government says that her extensive experience and strong leadership qualities position her well to guide the FIU through its next phase of strategic development and institutional strengthening. In her new role, Gardner Usher is expected to prioritize enhancing Belize's regulatory framework and ensuring the country's preparedness for the upcoming Caribbean Financial Action Task Force CFATF fifth round mutual evaluation process, which thanks to Magan's leadership, Belize received compliance. Today, Prime Minister John Briceño spoke highly of the former director and welcomed Gardner Usher to the new position.
Well, I'd like to thank Mrs. Sagiri, Lenny. I think she came in at a critical time. The previous director was a disaster. He was not getting the work done. She came in and she did an exceedingly good job at the Financial Services Commission, at the IFC. And it is because of her leadership that we managed to go to the Caribbean Financial Action Task meetings. I think it was earlier this year, where I think we were one of maybe 20 countries in the world that got full compliance, and it's because of her leadership. Unfortunately, well, she decided that she would know it's time for her to move on, and it's a loss to us. But I understand what. Now we were getting Miss Gardner. I know Miss Gardner well. We went to school together. She has extensive experience at the central bank. She was the deputy governor of the central bank and has now retired. And now that we're looking for another person, we felt that she was the appropriate person who have already experienced some of this work to come in and to take over from where Lenny is now leaving.
Ministry of Agriculture brought its second annual Youth in Agriculture summer camp to a spirited close today at the Yo Creek Agriculture Station, where Minister of Agriculture Honorable Jose Abelardo Mai joined more than 130 eager young participants for the closing ceremony. Held under the theme Harvesting Knowledge One Plant at a Time, this year's camp welcomed well over 100 students from agro-producing communities across the Orange Walk South constituency. Now in its second year, the program aims to instill in participants an appreciation for sustainable farming practices and environmental conservation, all while having fun. Over the course of 5 days, campers engage in hands-on activities such as crop planting, livestock care, beekeeping, and agro-processing, gaining practical skills and a deeper understanding of how agriculture sustains communities.
Last year we had 100 children who attended the summer camp. This year we had close to 140 children, so it's getting bigger and bigger. But what I think satisfies me or giving us satisfaction is to see the enjoyment that the children go through. I mean, they just enjoy being here 5 days, being around the animals, being around the sheep, being around the poultry. And so I think that little by little we're instilling the agriculture concept in the children. I think it's very important for them to know the importance of agriculture from childhood. It's difficult to convert an adult into a farmer, you know. It's easier to work with the children. And so I think that this year was another smashing success for the agriculture summer program in Orange Walk.
The hope, according to Minister Mai, is to extend the agriculture summer program to other areas across the country in the hopes of inspiring the next generation of leaders in Belize's agricultural sector.
And I hope that my other colleagues in cabinet would probably do something similar. I think it's important if we are to, especially in Belize City, I believe that the children there can learn by doing agriculture, by having a summer program. I think it will benefit them tremendously. And we are willing to support them. My Minister of State, Alex Balona, also had a very successful summer program in Cayo Central Farm. And so we encourage other leaders to do it. We are willing to support in whatever we can. So I think that, again, I have to thank the organizers. Mr. Luis Pook played a very, very important role. The village councils, they were very actively involved. The parents and some teachers from school, you know, who were on vacations took their time to be out here every day. They were here every day working with the children and helping. I have never had experience in managing 100 children, but 130 is even more. But I think at the end of the day, that gives us that level of satisfaction that we did something good for the children and they learned something. Remember, Plan Belize is what we are guided by. And in Plan Belize, we had that we would teach agriculture to the primary schools, we would do backyard gardens, and that's exactly what we're doing. So whatever we do is perfectly in line with Plan Belize.
Each participant was today awarded a certificate of completion along with a school bag and school supplies in preparation for the reopening of the 2025-2026 academic school year. Prime Minister John Briceño was in Japan leading an official delegation to the World Expo 2025 in Osaka, Kansai. The delegation's activities centered on showcasing Belize's economic and cultural diversity to a global audience. Prime Minister Briceño told the media today he was pleased with Belize's pavilion at the expo, which was one of the most visited. He also spoke about his meeting with the Prime Minister of Japan.
On Monday, another meeting with the Prime Minister of Japan, and we had a very good meeting. We thank them for all the work, the cooperation that we've had, the JICA volunteers, the work with the environment, the work with the climate change, the issues of small island states or small states with low-lying coastlines like Belize. Japan is playing a critical role in providing funding for that. And of course, we spoke about the swing bridge, and Japan is prepared to assist us. And it seems that there's a strong possibility of them providing a grant to provide a new bridge for the swing bridge. They sent their engineers, their team of engineers, to take a look at it to see if it could have been repaired, but it's way too old. I think they've come to the conclusion that we have to replace it. We had some scholarships. I met two dynamic young ladies. One, she is doing molecular chemistry, doing her doctorate. She's from Cayo and she spoke in Japanese. I was quite impressed. And the next one from Corozal, she is doing her doctorate. Both of them are doing their doctoral studies. Both of them will finish next year. The next one is in economics, I think trade economics. And so I brought up to the Prime Minister that our young people are looking for opportunities to study. And presently they give us one scholarship a year and ask if they could be able to have more, if they could offer a few more scholarships for us, and it's something that he thinks that it can be done. After that meeting and lunch, then I had another meeting with the Vice Minister, Eri, the Foreign Minister, the Vice Foreign Minister. She was here about 2 months ago, and we discussed the same issues, and she said, what are my priorities? I said, my priority is the bridge and the scholarships, and she said she's going to do everything possible for us to be able to get that assistance. I want to put on record my deep appreciation to the Prime Minister, to the government of Japan and its people for the cooperation, for the friendship, for the support that they have given us, and we give support to them also internationally in many of the issues that they've asked us for.
Curacao Town is poised for a transformative urban upgrade through a new sustainable and inclusive urban development project funded by the Inter-American Development Bank IDB and supported by the government of Belize. Earlier this month, Mayor Riga Vellas officially signed a memorandum of understanding that formalizes the Curacao Town Council's leadership role in advancing the project alongside the Ministry of Local Government and the Ministry of Finance. The initiative aims to significantly enhance several key public spaces along the bay, including Mother's Park, Rotary Children's Park, the Municipal Pier, and Liberty Court. A standout feature of the project is the planned construction of a boardwalk designed to provide coastal protection using nature-based solutions, underscoring a commitment of sustainability and resilience. Speaking on the upcoming project, Mayor Vellas expressed himself and strengthened Curacao's appeal as a vibrant coastal town.
There's a project pending with IDB, partner with IDB and the Curacao Town Council, where we're dealing with different sections of the municipality, especially the coastal part of the municipality. Where it involves, of course, we are targeting tourism. We are also targeting to find solutions for environmental issues, for example, erosion and the different cavings that keep happening within our town, and enhancement of open areas like parks. So this project entails Mother's Park. It entails what we all know as Fisherman's Pier, and of course the Municipal Pier, together with Liberty Court, also Children's Park. People know it as Children's Park, Animals Park, or Rotary Park. And a part of the coast in front of St. Paul's, which we're doing a pilot project to see if it works to prevent a major part of erosion that is happening on that section. Now we all know that having this project with IDB it takes a bit of time, no? There's a fleet of different phases. So right now we are at the phase where last week we had an environmentalist from Panama who came in on behalf of the IDB just to see the different areas that you're targeting, especially the one in front of St. Paul's, to ensure that what we have on black and white is possible to be done and can work, and that it won't hurt any part of the environment within our course. So we had a tour of the different areas, and he viewed the place, and end of the day, he was very satisfied with what the plan is that we need to do.
The partnership, according to Mayor Veyos, marks a significant step towards sustainable urban development in Corozal, aiming to enhance quality of life while safeguarding the town's unique coastal environment.
No, we are getting so close to this project to start, and we're happy. We know that it takes a lot of patience, and we're also glad that the Corozaleños have all the patience also, because we all know that every Corozalino looks forward to ensure that Corozal, is enhanced and more modern things are brought into place. And of course, when it comes to the coast, it's something that has repeatedly been happening here, and we need to find solution for it. Once that pilot project is effective, our plan is to move on to different areas with the same idea. So it's a long process, but it's coming close to the end where we will soon start this project. I think, if I'm not mistaken, the timeline they gave us for it to start next year, sometime in the earlier part of 2026. No, it is a project that will boost, of course, our economy, because we will see more local tourism come into Corozal, as we see right now with what is happening at Chactemal Plaza, at the entrance of Corozal. That's when it comes to local tourism. Hopefully it also can help with international tourism, and it all trickles down to the supermarkets making money, to the hotels making money, to the taxi drivers making money, including to the guy that is at the corner selling ice cream or ice. So that is what we're looking at. That is our goal, and that is what the IDB was here. Also, we signed an MOU, so it's already signed. So it's a green light that it will surely happen.
Present at the signing were Deputy Mayor Rodolfo Narvaez, Councilor Otoniel Riverol, and Town Administrator Alberto Veyos, representing the Corozal Town Council. The Ministry of Finance's Central Executive Unit was represented by Project Manager Katia Castaneda, Environmental Specialist Dr. Pedro Villegas, and the Project Engineer Isani Enriquez. The IDB was represented by consultants Gabriel Hernandez, Celine Neal, and Jeanette Archer Headley. And there is more news after the break. Stay tuned.
In the heart of the Americas lies a country that connects nations, cultures, and commerce. Belize, where CARICOM, Central America, and southeastern Mexico meet, offers more than beauty. It offers opportunity, a stable democracy, a bilingual workforce. And in this new global trade era, Belize is more than a destination. It's the nexus of tomorrow's investment frontier. A robust logistics and trade infrastructure connects you to over 200 million consumers. And as the world shifts to regional supply chains, Belize is poised to lead. This is where blue innovation meets green ambition, and orange creativity thrives. Join us for the Belize Investment Summit 2025, September 3rd to 5th at the Sunset Caribe in San Pedro. From agribusiness to aquaculture, from renewable energy to digital services, from tourism to trade, this is the future of regional integration, and it starts here. Whether you're returning home, expanding regionally, or entering new markets, Belize welcomes you. Why Belize? Why now? Belize Investment Summit 2025, Bridging Markets, Building Resilience, September 3rd to 5th at Sunset Caribe, San Pedro. Visit investmentsummit.bz to register and be part of shaping the investment frontier.
The Department of the Environment, DOE, within the Ministry of Sustainable Development, Climate Change, and Solid Waste Management, is hosting the final presentation of Belize's National Strategy and Action Plan for the implementation and reporting of the Basel, Rotterdam, Stockholm, and Minamata BRS&M conventions and the Global Framework on Chemicals, GFC, at the San Ignacio Resort Hotel. Collectively, these conventions control the manufacturing and entry of harmful chemicals and waste into member countries. Developed through a project funded by the United Nations Environment Program, UNEP, the strategy and its action plan aim to strengthen Belize's ability to meet its obligation under the BRS and M conventions and the GFC. These obligations are related to chemicals used in the industrial, agricultural, and other key economic sectors. The event brought together a cross-section of stakeholders, including government, civil society, the private sector, academia, and international development partners. Participants were introduced to the draft Integrated Chemicals Management Bill, a proposed law aimed at modernizing chemicals and waste governance in Belize. Once enacted, the bill is expected to improve regulatory coordination and provide a strong foundation for the sound management of chemicals across all sectors. The keynote address was delivered by Honorable Orlando Habet, Minister of Sustainable Development, Climate Change, and Solid Waste Management, who highlighted the importance of collective action in implementing the strategy and achieving national and global environmental goals. Opening remarks were delivered by Nicole Caesar, Program Officer with the UNEP Special Program, who reaffirmed UNEP's continued support for Belize's efforts to strengthen chemical safety and environmental health. The strategy and action plan will allow the DOE to strengthen national coordination and improve management of chemicals and waste in a way that safeguards public health, protects the environment, and supports sustainable national development. The DOE extended sincere appreciation to all stakeholders and partners for their continued engagement. The Ministry of Education, Science, and Technology is hosting a teachers' workshop under the theme Belize's Industries Focusing on Agriculture and Multilateral Environmental Agreements, MEAs. The Department of the Environment, DOE, and UNICEF have joined the initiative, contributing their expertise to enrich the learning experience for participants. This workshop is taking place in all districts from August 5th to the 12th, 2025, and is equipping 179 primary school teachers with tools to educate future generations about sustainable development and environmental stewardship. Information for the training is taken from 3 national publications: the recently updated Wealth Untold Education textbook, the National Strategy and Action Plan for Reporting to Chemical-Related MEAs, and the Child Environmental Health Study. The Wealth Untold is an exceptional school book which has been updated with national environmental and natural resources information for primary school teachers and students, and it also includes reading comprehension activities and quizzes. Teachers are awarded CPD hours through the Teacher Learning Institute, TLI, for successful completion. The workshop also highlights the role Belize's key economic sectors play in our national development and includes the agriculture and tourism sectors, identifying their impacts on the environment. Agriculture, which employs 16.8% of the workforce and contributes 14% to GDP, is explored in depth with emphasis on both commercial and subsistence farming, export value, and food security. Teachers are introduced to concepts of sustainable agricultural practices such as composting, water conservation, and biodiversity protection. With support from UNICEF, the DOE continues to strengthen environmental education across Belize by empowering teachers as key agents of change. And that's the news. We invite you to join us for another newscast on Monday, August 11th, here on Ctv3 News and Fiesta FM 106.7. Remember that to read a text version of the news, you can visit our website at ctv3belizenews.com. You can also log on to our Facebook page for current stories at facebook.com/ctv3belizenews or our YouTube channel at ctv3 News BZ. From all of us here at Ctv3 News, have a safe and pleasant weekend. Thank you for watching and listening. Good night.